and thanks for watching my videos. Many of you who followed Wyoming's journey have noticed that we're starting to get some better progress in recent times working together, and that's been really great. Something I've noticed is that even though I'm getting progress with her, I'm not always finding that she feels good about the work, and there's often an ill feeling that underlies some of the requests and how she responds. So today's videos, I'm putting together clips of work I'm beginning to do, not only looking for her to comply and to work together with me, but challenging how those feelings are, and if she does it in a softness, and if she feels good about it, or if I notice that she's carrying an ill feeling, a brace in her mind or body, that means at some point she's going to get frustrated, and that frustration cup or that ill feeling cup she's carrying will continue to fill up until it comes out in a pretty large way. So I hope you enjoy this video and our experimental progress as we continue down the road of becoming a true partnership. In editing this video, I decided to start at the end. So you're about to see where we finished, the place where she was soft, mentally present, and willing to work. And then I'll go back and we'll review some of what we went through to get to that place. My goal for this session was to get in a place where I could point, to get Wyoming to take a look, think in a direction, and walk off softly without a lot of attitude, resistance, or distraction. So here I point, and she goes ahead and takes a step, and I like this. She's not completely focused, but she's also not hard focused away. So here, when I stop moving, she should check in with me. It's taking a little bit of movement with my flag, but I like that she turns toward me and then stays out there. Earlier in the session, she had been pushing in on me a lot, so I prefer that. And here I'm going to point again, and that's a nice soft departure. She walks off in a circle away from me, and she seems pretty relaxed and loose about it, so then I'll stop, hoping she'll check in, and there's a nice soft check-in, and she's not pushing in on me, so that's great. Here I'll ask for another departure, and that's the least I could do, just pointing, and she walks right off. Super nice. I like that. And then I stop. She gets a little lost out there, distracted in the yard, so I move my flag. I'm just trying to make a little noise to ask her to come back without having to get too big. I don't want to create a fight. I just want to encourage her to come on back and check in. She turns the opposite direction, which isn't ideal, but I'm really happy with how soft she is, and she's feeling pretty good about that. I continue to ask myself, as I work with Wyoming, is this the horse I'd want to ride? And here at the end, this is the horse I'd want to ride. I'm going to ask her one more time for a departure, and I'll start soft with just a point, and she's not quite getting it. Then she was distracted by my other hand, which isn't helpful. I hang in there, and there she goes. It's a pretty nice departure. Any confusion for her makes her a little grumpy. So I'm glad to see her come through, turn to me, and softly, without pushing, come on in and check in. Super nice. Here we are at the beginning of our work session for the day. And I've taken off the halter and lead, so we're going to work loose in the round pen. She's in a pretty good state of mind, and I begin by asking her for a departure. Early in the session, distraction was our biggest issue. She was interested in everything except me. I had very low importance, and then when I would try to come back in and become important to her, that was interrupting the other distractions she had in her mind. She did not appreciate that, and it creates ill feelings with this mare. Well, she's moving along all right for the moment, but she's still very conflicted in her mind and has a lot of distractions. And here she's more interested in sniffing the ground, looking for grass possibly. So I'm going to make a big disturbance. I'm not chasing her with that flag. I'm just becoming important. I'm looking for her to pay attention to me. I'm not looking to make things happen or to drive her. But whenever I ask her to pay attention, I'm also interrupting the thought that she has and what else she would rather be doing. She's still not really committed. And then she's going to take an itch and then switch it into checking for grass. I make a huge fit. I'm not trying to drive her or make her do anything. I'm looking for her to put me at the top of her priority list. And horses, especially sensitive ones, don't particularly like it when you disrupt their environment. But it's also not a threat. I'm not chasing her and I'm not hurting her. Here I'll ask again. And she does move, but you can see she's obviously not committed. I'd like to be more important to her than sniffing the ground or looking around for distractions. That's a lot better, a lot softer. It's a good start. And here we're going to have a pretty nice departure, but as soon as she starts to move her attention everywhere else, I begin asking her to come back, and she really doesn't want to. So she tries to ignore me. I throw as big of a fit as I can without being threatening to her directly, and I get some attention. Now I'm going to ask her to go back to what we were doing as I point. She just says, no, don't want to do it. I will use the flag to defend my space or create a barrier, even though I won't chase her with it or drive her. So you may see that in the upcoming few minutes. Here she's walking around pretty nice. And here you'll see she starts to push in on me. Another way to avoid the work, and my flag, bam, that's a barrier. She can't come in on me. And she goes back out, gets back on task, and I invite her to come in again. She's only mostly checking in and paying attention. This is going to be the last send-off before they get really nice. And as things tend to go, it's also the worst one. So I'm asking her to step off, and she now goes the wrong direction. So I'm not trying to drive her with that flag. I'm just disrupting the environment and hanging in there until she makes a different choice. So the choice that she made comes with no peace because we're disconnected. She's completely avoiding my request. And until she works with me, we're disconnected. That was a block. Don't come in here. And now that she starts going in the direction I've asked, we have peace. At least for a moment. She doesn't want to continue to work in this way. You'll see her stop, come in towards me. That's a block. Don't come in here. We're walking around in a circle. Don't push in on me. She's going all right. But she's closing that circle and puttering to a stop. If I was riding her and asking her to keep going, I don't want to fight about it. So she's pushing in on me. She's fussing. She has lots of ill feelings about this. But it doesn't have to be. If she would just take a nice walk, we could be at peace and connected. Which is what, at the end, we both want. I just have to show her the way to get there. It's nice enough I ask her to come in, and this is where the better, softer send-offs began. Now, in context, you can see that this came directly after the worst section of the work, where she really tried everything to get out of working together in peace. And here we are, working together in peace, and I'm really happy with where we ended this session. Thank you for following along our journey. These videos show the work in progress and a lot of learning steps. So they aren't perfect and we have a lot of room to grow, but we like having you along for the ride. Thanks a lot.